hot enough for you?
Yes.
Yesterday I was coming down Grant Road, and I looked up at the sign on the bank, and it said 107 degrees. 107 degrees seemed pretty warm to me. But the interesting thing about heat in my mind is it always conjures thoughts of loftiness and elevating oneself in the air. In fact, it seems lift is lost the hotter the air gets. And I have this idea that, Joe, you can probably tell us more.
Lift is lost the higher you go. In my own words, how I would attempt to explain that is that the ground heats up because the sun hits the ground. The sun doesn't heat the air molecules up in the sky, but it heats the ground. So the valley floor at 1,000 feet gets 100-degree sun or 107-degree sun, and the air attached or adjacent to the ground there gets hot. At the same time, we have a blue sky day, which in weather terms they refer to that as high pressure. High pressure means that the atmosphere is pushing down on the air, the atmosphere. So now here you have these opposing forces of heating the hot air that wants to rise, because hot air rises, and the high pressure which is pushing down on it, and they're just really battling it out. Later on in the day, you'll see out through the valley floor an inversion layer, which is kind of like a horizontal haze line. Sometimes we're above it looking down, especially in the winter. Sometimes we're looking across at it, and you can see above it a little bit, below it. Some pollution down here, blue skies up there. Other times you're just kind of looking up at the clouds, but as that heat builds and that hot air rises, it pushes back against the inversion layer, and pretty soon it lifts higher and higher and higher. Probably for me, one of the most joyous moments is that when enough of that hot air rises in a collective area we call a thermal, and I fly my little paraglider over it and stumble into it and start to circle and lift, that I can actually ride that column of hot air through the inversion layer. It actually punches through the inversion rather violently. And now I'm up above the inversion. It's cool up there. You got the room with the view. It's glorious. And then it starts all over again once you fly out of that thermal and descend down in the inversion. Look for another rising thermal to heat up the inversion layer and pop it through. So, a little bit of weather there for you.